Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Italian Ikazuki stream. My name is Katie, and we are just getting myself onto YouTube so that you can actually see, or I can see the stream and make sure everything's still translating through from my streaming program. Those are the words I'm looking for. Okay, and then the laptop goes up on its little hidey hole shelf. Oh, that's why this light was higher up, is because it does kind of block my face. All right, never mind. The laptop is going to stay down. I'm going to shimmy shake everything up here a little bit. I'm going to move this around on the other side of the phone. There we go, and then we're going to move the thread catcher back here. Then we're going to shimmy shake you forward. There we go. Since there isn't like a lot of like sewing desk work, it's other stuff today. I also just realized I do kind of want to grab the grime guards that are back here and see if there's any that need white tops or white stitching. Although I think we got to swap out the thread color pretty fast here anyway. These look like they're all dark tops. Oh my goodness, why does the phone keep dropping connection? Because it's upset. Alright, must have. Okay. I already gave you all these permissions. In this way, and then we're going to go into studio mode, and we're going to turn on the collab cam. Close. Alright. Actually, that looks like it is probably a bit better of a view of the sewing desk anyway. Okay, so these are all dark thread. There might be one sneaky hiding under here, but we're not going to worry about it. Then the rest of that is like the box bags and stuff in the pick your own. Actually, I think these are the two that are supposed to be white top stitches. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna grab the stack of ones that need to be white top stitched, and then I know I pulled these out, but I really don't feel like dealing with them tonight. Okay, we'll deal with them on the next round of white thread. My whole construction of the grime guards has changed, so they are going to be going into the into that, but they also are a little bit actually more difficult to sew in the current iteration. And right now all I want to do is just go straight, do the straight seams, blah blah blah. Actually, I never even checked to see if these planner pouches have top stitching. I'm just assuming they do. Mostly because in my head they should. I know the notions pouches and the needle stashes don't have top stitching, but it's really, 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 really rare for me not to put top stitching in a bag. Actually, I guess the knot bags don't either. Mostly because I found that didn't make a big difference in the quality of the bag, so either direction. And sometimes, actually, it was probably more a case of it made it look worse more regularly than it helped make it look better, so. So I'm a bit later tonight because I did go and get my weights done today. Thanks to my brother and sister-in-law who chilled with the kids. My sister-in-law's house is right along the pathway to the gym, so we just walked down, dropped them off, then we walked back. But I did not get my run in today, so I wanted to make sure that I got a walk in, which is what I just did. I did some computer work while I was walking, and then yeah, the kids. I know I said I was going to take them sledding today, but we've had a busy week, so we just had a chill day, and honestly, it was really good. I didn't even do much. I didn't try to do a big push with any work or anything like that either. In fact, I mostly just scrolled. I don't know if that was a good decision or not. I don't know if it was restorative like I probably needed, but oh well. And then yeah, I went out and did a walk and some work on the computer while I was walking. Basically used, so I have a bath desk thing, and I use that for basically to convert my treadmill into a walking desk, and it works really well, or at least for the few times that I've used it that way. So right, the one thing I did find yesterday or last night, that I went on a hunt after I got off the stream, and I did find the purse things that I want to finish up for makers, and for general use as well. I did not find the webbing for them yet. Why am I separating the zippers? Zippers don't need to be separated on these. They're flat. Katie, what are you doing? Why are you doing it that way? Anyway. Yeah, I found it's like a cell phone bag. My thought for makers though is that it'd be really good if instead of an apron, or if you want something different than an apron, or you want to wear an outfit that doesn't have pockets or whatever, and you're at a show, so you want to keep your card reader close on hand. It will it's kind of, I haven't seen a lot of people make stuff and market it specifically for that, at least not. I guess I've never really looked, but whatever, that's the story I'm telling myself. Do not unzip it. It doesn't need to be unzipped. It's actually easier if it's not unzipped. It's not as unruly. Anyway, so I did find those, and we will get some of those finished up. At least some of them finished up for Shindig. Well, we'll get the current lot done. These are kind of like the launch ones, and then we'll see. We'll see what else I get done over the summer and stuff like that. Again, it feels like a really good Omatsuri make. They did get put into timeout because I was sewing the first one, and I realized that what was happening was the fabrics were stretching, and so I needed to go in and put an interfacing into them to help stabilize the fabric. Now I'm just going to check to see. I think these are all dark. Oh no, that one. Oh, okay, never mind. There's a lot getting sewn with white thread. So is this something that I want to tackle tonight? Oh, even that one's okay. I broke some of my own conventions. Usually I probably said F it. Let's just stitch it and get it over and done with. That's probably what happened. Where are you from? And oh, these are, okay, so these are the lining pieces. The problem is I don't know how to actually assemble these off the top of my head. So do we want to put the work into figuring out how to assemble them tonight? Or should that be a fresh brain thing? I feel like that needs to be a fresh brain thing, because I have zero clue how this is actually supposed to go together. I think we're at the point where those linings actually need to be sewn into the bags. Is that where we're at? And then we turn it and sew the pocket on. But that alone right there is the deciding factor in not pursuing that. All right, I'm gonna double check these guys and just make sure there isn't really anything that needs white top stitching. This should have white top stitching. Actually, these guys should as well. And those ones. And that one. And this one. Black would look fine on that, but it's going to look better with white. And the rest of these are dark enough that we'll do dark top stitching on them. Thank you to all the new subscribers. It's always super exciting to come on YouTube and realize that I've gained subscribers overnight. I'm glad you're along for the journey. Whatever this is, I'm not 100% sure. There's really no end destination besides getting back to Japan. So, just here to enjoy the ride, I guess. This Alice fabric is spectacular. Like, it's just so gorgeous. I wish I had more of it, but alas, we are done the Alice pretty much. Okay, this one does need to be opened because it is actually connected because the piece was large enough to do that with. And let's go. Don't really have much to talk about, so this may be a mostly ASMR stream. I will be here to kind of chat though, like it's going to be on and off, so I'm not going to call it a full ASMR stream. I was really tempted, but I was like, no. It seems like it's more popular when I do typically talk, so you know, that's what we'll go with. I don't, actually unzipping it has proven that I don't have as much crumpling. Alright, and then the question is, no, we'll switch back to white thread to do the rest of this. It's going to be like, should I also stitch these pieces that are in half together now or after we get the top stitching done? We'll do the top stitching and then swap back again to white thread and do all the other sewing, like all the sewing together of linings and interiors, exteriors, all of those good pieces after we get all the top stitching done, because then we can just chain piece everything together there as well. Alright, my pretties, go down. Good job. I think oh, excuse me. I stayed up way too late after leaving the stream last night. Not even doing anything useful, just staying up late for the heck of it, I guess. So I won't be on very late tonight. So yeah, I think the goal will be, at minimum, we're going to get all the top stitching done. At maximum, we'll get all the interiors and exteriors sewn together. And then tomorrow night, we'll finish the planner pouches. We'll also see how I feel here in a little bit. I might get a second wind. Who knows? Badgers, 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 mushroom. Alright, last one with the white top stitching. Alright, I had an email from Vogue I should probably go read. I'll do that after the stream. Alright. realized these could use something like a belly band or something like that to like up their packaging appeal. That's an inconvenient thought. What I was thinking about is that I did send a lot of these to Market Mall and Market Spot, which is awesome because I think they've sold quite a few. But I bet you I would sell more if they had a little belly band on them explaining what they're for, to be honest. Because I could see people looking at them and being like, oh, they're cute, but what do you use them for? Like once they actually get finished. And it's like, I can't commit to doing like a full-on notebook insert to like put them on. I guess I could, but that'd be a lot of work. But I could probably figure out a way to cut a belly band on the Cricut and package them with that. And that would be a good way to package them even for photos online. Alright, things to think about in the next like couple weeks. I guess that would be good for Shindig as well, without me constantly have to explain them. Although they've been pretty self-explanatory in person, at least. I do still think, you know what, like, the more you can explain to a customer without them having to ask typically, at least I find with Fibre shows and all of that, the better. Because, yeah, cake cozies are already confusing enough. Which reminds me, I need to make sure that I actually take a cake to put in the cake cozy. Okay, there we go. Like that. And then we're going to pull the bobbin. Actually going to pop that one on the metal or the magnet thing here because, well, I guess it's a little bit until we get back to it, but it may as well live there. It's not a big deal. I don't think that actually went in properly. Ah. Okay. And after this stream, I'm technically supposed to change my needle. Actually, after last night's stream, I probably should have changed my needle, but I don't follow recommended advice very often at all. Obviously, again, that whole I make the rules, I don't necessarily follow them thing. I'm just moving the mic around so that my voice gets picked up a little bit clearer, hopefully. There was a lot of shirt between me and the mic, so. Alrighty, here is, so that was something like what, 10? I know that there's 30 pouches in total. It's all in, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is something that I do during batch making so that like when I'm losing my mind about how much more there is to do and like not knowing how much more there is to do, I'll split it up into piles of 5 and then I just have to count the pile. So like this is 3 piles deep right now, or it's going to be 3 piles deep at least, which means that we have 15 bags. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's 2 on top. So counting those 2 on top and then just being able to count the directions of the zippers means that I have a really easy way to kind of make a judgment of how many bags are left. So right now we're at 17, which means that we actually had something like 13 bags with white top stitching. Almost an even split. Not an even split in zippers, but almost an even split in the top stitching at least. So that's super cool. And then we're going to do this. Felt like that zipper was loose, but we're good. These are the exciting Saturday nights. Not like I had exciting Saturday nights before this, but because what are we at? We're less than a month to Shindig, so given how slow I am out of the gate right now, we'll see where I get. I did find a couple large box bags that are like, basically they have to be turned and have their end seams done, so that's exciting. At least that's like the next step for them, sort of thing. So end seams, boxing, and then sewing the box edges, basically. And then I did also find the small box bags that I was lamenting. I didn't know where they were either, but I still have not found their handles, so I will have to actually go and find their handles. I found a couple cuts, it looks like, for the Sassy Cat with wisteria. A couple of the new colors, which is super exciting. And just, yeah, we're just gonna plug along. See where we get to. I did start listening to a new audiobook. But if I can tell you the title or the author, I would be a lot less dull of a knife in the knife block right now. I can't remember what it was. I think it's something, This Dark Fortune or The Dark Fortune or something like that. Anyway, it feels like it's got some like it's definitely a mystery novel, and then something. I don't know. It was suggested to me based on like other stuff I've listened to in the recent past, and so far I'm enjoying it, so I'll take it. I will find out the rest of the information and put it in the description next time I come on to stream. But since I'm not listening to it right now, it's also one of those situations where it's like, okay, well, it's like pertinent, but not super pressing. There we go. Okay, let's get these in. Yeah, actually I can see belly bands on these being extremely cute. I know exactly what I would want to do with them. And then the thing is going to be how to like professionally label them with the name, because honestly my hand will cramp up writing too many cards. That's not an actual complaint, it's just a part of like what kind of thought process you have to put into like everything with a business, especially when it's just you, yourself, and you. Now, I obviously have some amazing childcare, and I have a parent who parents when they're home. But all of the rest of this is like me and the occasional help from some friends. Hopefully I can recruit again over the summer to do some of the stuff that's just like, we need to turn bags. The interior fabric here went into like the zipper line, so we gotta seam rip it out and redo the top stitching, especially on that section. Okay. Can I ever remember if it's, oh yeah, no, never mind. But I can never remember if it's easier to pull stitching from the front or from the back. Apparently it is from the front. Alright, we'll remember that. Not like breaking the seams on the back is a bad idea, but gotta seam rip that back stitching out. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Loosen it all up. Of course, this is like the first seam to bah, I say. We're going to leave that back stitch in because we're going to start there. It's not going to disrupt anything to leave it there, so that's fine. So this is going to get stitched into the, like the back stitching for top stitching typically gets stitched into the bag anyway. So it's not like you'll see a lot of the back stitching, at least for this bag, or this pouch, on the top as it is, so. Alright. It's also dark fabric, it's not like I've got black top stitching on white. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to finger press that back and away again, and then we'll go in and actually sew it. And then we'll only have, really? Sweet, we only have 11 left, so that's a pretty good so far. There we go. Alright, so not even a half hour to get through over half the top stitching. That's like impressive. It's insane sometimes, like what the difference, how long different steps take, and like sometimes how fast different steps are, which is I'm most pleased when they're faster than I anticipate, obviously. Alright, 9 more. And really we'll sew all these like half pieces together. And then if I'm still feeling it, which probably will be, we'll go in and start actually installing the elastic and all that jazz. Just realized I'm going to also need to cut tags for these. So, and if you're wondering, Katie, that chain piecing doesn't look a lot easier. It still is. Part of it is not easier. Part of it is actually just thread conservation and still speed as well. So I would have still needed to do that maneuver even if I hadn't been chain piecing everything. So, and honestly, I could have done that smoother anyway. Much easier with with the ones that like fully open up. So I'll remember that when I'm cutting, that even though it's nice not have to do that interior seam, it's just better to cut everything and have it over with. So that's what we'll do next time. All right, now I think with these interior exteriors, we are going to do the dark ones with dark thread. It's not like it shows through, but just peace of mind on my part, I guess. Yeah. And since we already have black thread in the machine, why not? Don't understand why we're back to the jiggle, because I moved the sewing disc out so that the ring light wasn't seen against it. And apparently the ring light's like settled down and been like, okay, now we're going to jiggle again. Sound funky. It sounded like we ran out of bobbin thread, but we're good so far. Alright, those all just plummeted over the edge and are now causing strain on this one, so we'll just clip and move. Six more. And we'll do the interior seams. Yeah, I do think I will cut any like pieces, and then we'll just do the interior exterior seams, because that will make my life, like, it will actually be faster. Then all I have to do is open it up like this, and then we just go down and around, and everyone is happy. Four more, four more, four more. I just remember we were gonna have to do all of the thread clipping as well. So we might not get very far on the like sewing of the pieces together. I don't know. Three more, three more. Last two. This is the penultimate one. We're going to do it. No, hopefully the bobbin lasts. There's no reason it shouldn't, I guess, but you know, bobbins have a very like cruel sense of humor. They will run out right before you finish. And I've probably jinxed myself now, but you know, we can hope and dream. Last one. We might just make it yet. And we've done it. Okay, now we need to go in and do, first we're going to clip all the bags apart. And we're going to for sure set aside the ones that are like, we're going to do a white thread closure on interiors and exteriors, like all of these. Sorry, that was a big knock. And these ones are going to be black, since that's what's already on the machine, so I might as well split them out. Bum, 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 bum. Sketchy cats. Most of them are going to be black. I'm pretty sure everything that was like top stitched with black is going to be finished with black thread as well. Just makes sense, right? So white, 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 white. Alright, so there's the split. It's going to be white thread. So they can go back in the bin for now because we'll work on the black ones. And we're just going to trim the threads as we come to them because I don't feel like doing them all at once right now. And that is my prerogative. Okay, so I am only going to work till 11. Just with the time change, that means that's basically like midnight. Alright, so we got the top stitching done, and now we're just working on getting all these linings pieced together. And basically trimming down the top stitch threads because I chain pieced everything, so. Go. So it's kind of in the like middle tedium of getting these planner pouches done. I'm only going to be working for about another 15 minutes. Just because with daylight savings time change here, that means that it's basically midnight. And I am sluggish from staying up way too late yesterday, so. By the way, that curry that I made turned out really, really well. It was delicious. And as I was like eating the sauce, it basically tasted like essentially butter chicken. And I'm like, oh, okay. And thinking about the ingredients, probably I've never made butter, like the actual, I've made butter chicken, but I've made butter chicken from like a jar or a packet. I've never made it from scratch. There we go. But now it makes me want to see if I can make it from scratch, which I think would be probably pretty easy. There's a local Indian restaurant though that has an amazing curry. And one of their curries is actually, it's called Paneer Matar. And it's so good. So good. We also have a Nepalese cuisine place like just down the road from us. And also absolutely amazing. Hey, Flin Flon. What's up? Yeah, you're a cat, I know. What you doing? Would you like to come show your pretty face on camera? Yeah, come on up. This is Flynn. This is Tiny Overlord 3. One of the quality control inspectors. Hopefully you can hear him purring on the mic. He's all like, unhand me, woman. He's currently going through his shed, so we are combing out the shed mats as they come in, basically. Because it doesn't matter with his fur, he's got like a really downy undercoat. And even if you brushed him like every hour, there would still be mats. So it's like his like, it's not just he's like shedding the winter coat, he gets his like spring belly shaven basically. Just in bits and pieces, of course. Right. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Sweet, that's not bad at all. So we'll get the exterior stitched together, and then we will turn and get the interior stitched for these guys as well with the dark thread, hopefully. Actually, we'll probably just end up getting the exterior pieces done tonight for the dark ones. And then the white and interiors of these guys will get stitched tomorrow. That's fine. Getting everything top stitched in and how much work we've gotten done in hours. I'm very pleased with that, so we're good. It's nice to have like those long stints because it's like then you can really put your head down and just go. But I gotta remember that these short stints are also just as productive, just shorter. I just find right now like the transition between like any task really is really difficult. So or can be. Not always really difficult, but it can be difficult. It just takes more time. Right, and this is not a situation of we'll finish this or 11 o'clock hits. No, I'll finish off the exterior sews at least, and then we'll deal with the rest tomorrow. What's up, Babity? Yeah. I know, you're a cat. What's up, Sweepy? Just coming to chat. And yes, I could actually trim these threads later, but if I do it now, it's actually less work than doing it later. So at least that's what I've been discovering as I've been trimming them before I do like the next step. So because in the past, usually what I do is I would just sew over it and it would be sewn into the seams. But that would require a lot of like digging the thread out and stuff like that. So this is just faster, or at least more efficient, I guess. Maybe not faster, but more efficient. Right, we're down to our last two here. This one is a little bit less of a concern too, because it's like the thread, at least at the top, is going to get stitched right into the seam allowance, whereas like with box bags and stuff like that, there's that gap. And so you don't want the thread crossing over the gap into the bag, basically. Just doesn't look very good. Aesthetics. So, all right, last one to sew the halves together. This one's a good one because, oh, actually, never mind. That one doesn't even need to be sewn because it is a one-piecer. So it's going to go at the bottom underneath all the stuff that's white that needs to be stitched together. Momentary panic as I was like, did I reduce my stitch length? You'd think that I would notice it before this, but I did not. Alright, and actually, do you know what? I'm going to say screw it. We're going to go in and we're going to do the interiors of the ones that need to have their interiors sewn as well. Because we may as well. Will I pay for it tomorrow? Yes, but I'm going to pay for being up late tomorrow anyway, even though it was 2 days ago, or will have been 2 days ago. Alright, interior needs to be sewn. Interior does not. Does not. Does not. Okay, so yeah, maybe I won't actually. I was talking about that. I should like trim down the interiors. No. Nah, that's not going to happen. It's way too nice to just be able to trim them down and go. Okay, that one needs interior sewn. That one does not. This one does not. Okay, I will definitely finish the interiors, at least for the dark thread tonight, because there is actually not that many of them. Compared to the overall scheme and everything. And then we'll maybe pull the white ones as well and get them stitched together too. There we go. So a lot of these are the scrap fabrics from a while ago. Some of them are newer. Mostly stuff that's like, well, that fabric went really fast and now I just have pieces left over. Which, like, is a good problem to have, probably. But, and I've said this in the last few live streams, but I'll say it again. It's really nice to have, like, a variety of prints. So, like, doing these smaller pieces with older fabrics is nice because it breaks up the monotony sometimes of the newer fabrics as well. And, like, adds some visual variety to the booth, which is nice when I'm at shows. Versus just like, okay, you've obviously cut all of this fabric up and made it into like 6 different bags. Yeah, they're all different styles and they're all going to catch different people's fancies, but it gets visually tiring. I guess at the same time you could argue the other side of it, that having too much in the booth then is visually overwhelming, but you know, oh, whatever. I guess that could be true too. I saw someone actually recommending, they're like, we are downsizing and like stuff, and that's awesome for them. They've recognized that like they don't want to be as big as they were. All of that kind of sucks for their employees now that I think of it. But one of their recommendations was like, don't take everything and put it in your booth. And I'm like, but if you don't take it, you don't sell it. That's always what I think. Even if it's just in suitcases underneath like my tables or something like that. I pretty much always carry all my stock with me. Or at least I would say like 90 to 95% of the stock. So. Alright, there we go. Wrap. Click the bobbin into place. And I am going to be lazy and I'm not going to wind the black bobbin right now. I will wind it later when we use black thread again later, because it's 2 bags and that's basically, well, I guess I could throw it on and wrap it, but or wind it, but considering that we're going to be going into white thread next anyway, I'm just going to say no. It's annoying that I even had to change the bobbin thread 2 out from the end. Although I am also kind of impressed with how many of these pouches that black thread did, because that was about a 3/4 full bobbin. It wasn't even a full bobbin. So that is like all of the top stitching on, what do we decide it or count it was 17, and then all of the like interior seams just now except for 2, so that's pretty impressive overall. All right, back to the white thread. Feels like we were just here. Using the other white thread, we're going to take the big baby. This is the big baby. And yeah, now it's 11 o'clock, but I am on a roll, so we're going to just go in and wrap up these interior exterior piecing seams, and then I'll call it quits. Actually, probably what I'll do is I'm going to take my laptop upstairs and I'm going to probably try and design a belly band for these guys. because at the same time that is also important for sales. Oh my goodness. So what I was actually doing on the laptop when I was walking tonight was I was doing alt text on my photos, which is something I've been thinking I need to do recently. And on my quest to like increase my SEO or optimize my SEO, it's like, wait, alt text actually counts in that, I think. So here we are. That's what I'm doing, or at least I'm trying to. So we'll see what happens. It's interesting because when you search Japanese fabric bags, I don't show up in the Google results, but I do show up in the shopping results. And I'm like, okay, so what have I done to show up on one, and what can I do to show up in like the generalized? Now, if I'm looking to buy something, I know myself, I just kind of ignore that front page and I typically go into actually the shopping page. Because like sometimes the actual Google search doesn't bring up the shopping results. This was not the case with Japanese fabric bags. But yeah, it's interesting to see. So okay, so yeah, I can get these done tonight, or like what I've done to the dark stitched ones. Oh, I just realized I have to trim down all those top stitching. Okay. No, do you know what? I'm going to stick to my guns and head out for the night. We will finish this pile tomorrow. And then we'll be finishing all of them tomorrow. I'll try and be on a little bit earlier, which means I'll get my exercise done earlier in the day. But it's what it means. But I hope you all have a fantastic night. That was a lot of work done for an hour's worth of work, to be honest. All the top stitching and piecing the dark pouches is awesome. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for everyone who watched the live stream and joined me. And I will chat with y'all very soon, like within less than 24 hours now. Have a fantastic